Welcome. In this lecture, we would be talking about governance and reforms under the Yojana edition. So, the first thing that we need to understand is the bureaucrats and making. So, there have been various civil services reforms. The idea is to generate and to create an ecosystem where accountability, responsibility and transparency is well maintained with the civil servants, and they are better assisted with the process of audits and legislature, and then therefore creating a smoother flow for the democratic processes to happen. So if we look onto the history, the term bureaucrat evolved by French word in the 18th century was given by Jacques Gournay, and there is where the concept evolved later by Max Weber, and the characteristics were identified. It was seen as a formal, impersonal, rule bound and hierarchical as one of the concepts. Then we had the Northcote-Trevelyan report, which resulted in the 1858's Queen's Declaration, which talked about India's civil services and the principles for open competitive exam based on merit. Now, the part 14 of the Constitution talks about efficient public services and establishment of UPSCs and state public service commissions. Recently, Mission Karm Yogi has been brought, and this aims to cover nearly 45 lakh central government employees between 2020 and 2025, and this program would be brought through IoT, that's the internet platform, and this would be serving as a base for capacity building for civil servants. Now, the idea is to equip them to give so that they can bring in the best in Jan Bhagidari, or the people's participation. Now, the most important thing is, when we are moving away from the top-led supervision, the idea is the bottom-led delivery is being affected, and therefore bringing in a spirit of leadership and a spirit where the content is delivered directly to the people of India, it becomes important. So moving from rule to a role is a very important idea. So there is the concept of FRAC, which is framework for roles, abilities and competencies, actions and micro actions to be managed, and creating a structure which would be the framework, the Karm Yogis under the Mission Karm Yogi, the policy framework, their evaluation and institutional structure for the same. Now, for the accountability and financial administration, this works in various heads. The most important institution is the Comptroller and the Auditor General. Now, the audit reports are presented to the Parliament and state legislatures, and then a detailed examination is done. So, the accounts and the audits across the various plans are discussed. This has been deep rooted to the concept of Arthashastra written by Kautilya, and then in the 1860s this Comptroller and Auditor General came into existence, and this constitutional status was given in 1950. Now they are called as the Supreme Audit Institution, or SAI of India, and the idea is to work on internal audits, analysis of vouchers and financial audits, focusing on the concepts of institutional values, professionalism, talking about competence and social assurance. Now, when the Comptroller and Auditor General audits, it would focus on the financial attest, compliance, performance and a better digitization. So there are various parliamentary committees which are established. For example, there would be an ad hoc committee which would be formed, which would be referred to as a JPC, Joint Parliamentary Committee. Then you would have certain reforms which it would be involved with. So these committees, there are 3 new committees which have been established: the Constitution Committee, Committee on National Economy and Committee on Legislature. Under the Financial Committee, there is Committee on Estimate, Public Undertaking and Public Accounts. Minister is not eligible to be a member of it. Now the estimate gives a pre-budget estimate, public undertaking examines the functioning, and public account talks about the statements which are approved for spending by the Parliament. Then there are various bills to the committees which are referred. So referring all bills to a committee would make sure that the laws are going through minimum levels of scrutiny under the Parliament. So there had been, for example, in 2016, amendment bill which capped the insurance payout of 10 lakh in a death case. Now there are certain cases which are raised, and the National Committee on Review working for the Constitution talks about these kind of things that has to be brought. Now the Member of Parliament, they have to be present. There have been multiple instances where reduced number of attendance has been seen. For the financial committee, it is reduced to 37%. In normal, it is somewhere around 80%. So a committee meeting, a quorum of 1/3 of the committee members, which is around 10 for every subject committee, is required. But recently we are facing shortage of technical expertise, technical staff in Canada. To actually counter this, there is a Library of Parliament which provides the research staff to all the committee as and when it requests. Also, they also provide the guidelines for the establishment of the proceedings later on. Now, the next is some of the major bills. For example, NRF, National Research Foundation Bill 2023. Now, this talks about directions for research, innovation and entrepreneurship, focusing on the spendings in research and development. An executive council would be established and the roles would be well demarcated. Now, Prime Minister would be the ex officio president. The Union Minister of Science and Technology and Union Minister of Education would be the ex officio vice presidents. Then there would be an executive council which would be focusing on the functioning of the NRF. There are various administrative reforms which have taken place. Since 2014, 23 regional conferences on replication of good government practices have been conducted across various states with an idea of maximum governance with minimum government. So, digitally transforming the idea of administrative reforms is a part of it. So, under the NESDA framework, where we talk about accessibility, ease of use, better service, and status and request tracking, there has been a CP Grams which has been established, which is a centralized public grievance redressal system. Now, this has registered so far nearly 17 lakh beneficiaries who have got benefit through putting in their complaints and getting those resolved. The next is Chintan Shivir. Now, this aims at bringing an in-house idea on governance model. How can we have a futuristic model for good governance? 21st April is celebrated as a Civil Service Day, and in 2023 the idea was Viksit Bharat, empowering citizens and reaching the last mile. This was conducted, this was the theme for 2023. Now, then there are secretarial reforms which are aiming at bringing in financial powers, adoption of e-offices, Swachhata as one of the missions. There has been an award under PM Award for Excellence in Public Administration, which would be categorized under different aspects. For example, Har Ghar Jal Yojana, Swachh Bharat, Samragh Shiksha, holistic development, and so on. The good governance practices, the application of that has been important. There have been various award series presented under Abhinav Pahal series has been important. Then the national conferences and e-governance. Under this, there have been a recent national e-governance conference which was held at Katra in Jammu. Women empowerment and their recent reforms, a very important topic. Now, the legal framework, how do we combat the gender stereotypes, and bringing in helplines, safe houses and counseling programs. This also focuses on the various acts which have been passed for the women's rights so far, which includes protecting the women from domestic violence, medical termination of pregnancy, and so on. The various schemes like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Matru Vandan Yojana, Mahila E-Heart, and then we have the list which is given here, and the various efforts which includes the maternity benefits, the Muslim Women Marriage Act, checking the sexual harassment at workplace, also transforming the lives through empowering the females by bringing in the LPG connections under the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, bringing in Jal Jeevan Mission, reducing the cases of triple talaq by 80%. The Consumer Protection Act 2019 is another important act. It actually empowers and brings the rights of consumers through the notified rules under the Consumer Protection Councils, the Dispute Redressal Commissions, the e-commerce, and the various goods that have been released. So this has been a very important resolution mechanism, and every e-commerce entity must provide the information related to returns, refunds, and its policy. The acknowledgement of any consumer complaint must be done within 48 hours from the date of receipt, and then they have to readdress the complaint within a period of 1 month. The next is a non-statutory body in India, very very important, Law Commission of India. Now questions like these are generally asked, whether it is a statutory body, non-statutory body, quasi-statutory bodies and so on. Now this body actually has been established by Government of India under Ministry of Law and Justice and Department of Legal Affairs, and aims to bring out research in the field of law, and the idea is to bring recommendations to the government in the form of reports that it can bring in. The Law Commission brings in or revives the laws which are in India, so bringing in research, focusing on the existing laws, and any subject related to it are covered under it. So 22nd Law Commission was brought in 2020, existing till 2024. It is composed of a chairperson, 4 full-time members, secretary of Department of Legal Affairs, Legislative Department, and 5 part-time members. Then the functioning talks about how the reports are being received and being studied, the methodology and the final report, and then a follow-up. The next is permanent Lok Adalats. Now they cater to the public utility services, for example postal, telegraph, public health, hospitals, insurance, education and related. Then there are e-courts which talk about leveraging technology for bringing in efficiency in the court. So a 16-digit alphanumeric case number is recorded without any space or dash in between. Then you can search it on the e-court mobile service app and focus on it. The next is direct tax reforms. So tax policy reforms is a continuous reform and is one of the ways through which ease of doing business has been actually streamlined. So the Finance Act 2022 has reduced the rates at which cooperative societies pay the MAT, which is the minimum alternative tax, to 15% at par with other companies, and advanced pricing agreements have been successful in reducing the litigations. There are 4 important pillars of the reforms which talks about reducing the tax rate, deepening the tax base, reducing the litigations and using technology. So widening and deepening of the tax base is important. So this talks about a new TDS system focusing on the problem of black money. So imposition of the Tax Act 2015 is important. Then use of technology talks about e-verification, the CPR, ITR and TDS, tax deducted directly from the source, being taken into account. Also focusing on the direct tax having buoyancy for more than one over the years is again important. The next is focusing on the consumers and the business interests. So how does that work? The Competitive Law Commission and the rights have to be taken into account. So competition law and consumer laws, how are they handled for the well-being of the consumer? And the Competition Commission of India is responsible for the competitive processes to ensure that there is no anti-competitive policies which are taken into account or malpractices associated with it. For example, one of the competing firms can reduce the price significantly. This can harm the industry. They can bring in specific strategies to attract the customers or reduce the choice of the products that they offer, or reduce the kind of innovation which can be offered. So there are information, the fees which is for the filing, the rates has been given in the list here. So what is very very important is the confidential information in any unredacted form is important, and the idea is this is part of the confidentiality ring. So confidentiality ring means all the persons who are part of the confidentiality committee would actually have access to certain information, but the category of the documents for not ordinarily accessible to the members of confidentiality ring include email dumps, call detail records or any other personal information. But the idea is ultimately to protect the well-being of the consumer and to give them diverse choices with affordable processes. So this is the basis of the Competition Commission of India, and the various constitutional bodies actually play an important deep-seated role in strengthening the pillars of democracy, and therefore their role has been paramount in a democratic system. So this was about the governance and bureaucratic setup. For now we would be covering many such important topics, but note this is a really important topic for your GS paper 4. Numerous case studies for your GS paper 4 we have already covered in a separate lecture, so do follow those. Have a wonderful evening ahead.